live, I suppose. All right, welcome everyone. Um, yeah, this is my first stream in a very long time. Um, Today I wanna write some code on the Git project. I've been writing on this code in the past, and I have to refactor a little bit because it was hard to understand which code paths were followed and where everything was going and stuff like that. So I decided let's refactor code a little bit so it's easier to understand. There's less code duplication because that's one of the issues I think. And yeah, it's easier to reason with folks on the mailing list. So let me first describe the problem. So let me go down. So let me open up, create a new temp git project. And then I will say I don't need anything. So there's I don't need any files or any commits in there. Well, maybe initial commit, I'm not sure. Well, git commit allow empty initial commit. User.email. All right. This is not very smart, maybe. Well, people know my email anyway. All right. So let me do this. We have an initial commit. So now I can say git-cat-file. Okay, let's create a file anyway. So let me touch. I recall it was quite hard to create a file with a new line in it. I'm not sure how I've been doing it in the past. Like I can say touch hello \n worlds ls-la. I think this works. And I can say touch, well, not touch, echo. This is the readme to readme. Git add git commit -m add some files. All right. Now there's like the git-cat-file command. So there's some help about this. Let me open up the man page for git-cat-file. Man git-cat. So git-cat-file is a command that allows you just to fetch the contents of a blob inside the Git repository. So any type of any object basically on the in the Git database object database you can fetch with git-cat-file. So if I would say like git log -one line. Okay, so there are two commits now, and I would be able to say git-cat-file commit because you have to specify the type first, and DA for DC02. That returns the raw contents of the commit. So that's how Git stores the commit in the object database. I think it might be doing some conversion to non-printable characters, but well, basically this is it. Well, maybe it isn't. But so we can say the commit, but we can also show the tree. And as we can see here, okay, so it's showing raw data because there are some like really weird characters going on here. So it's really showing the raw data. If we would look at it like this, then we see we have the permissions here, and what else is happening here? I'm not sure what the characters are. So readme $6 so $6. There's an OD. I'm not sure what that is again. It's a new line, or is it something like that, or a tab? I think it's a tab. So yeah, this command exists, and you can get the data. You can also get the contents of a file. Well, maybe I should insert some data there. So let me echo printf hi to hello world. Yes, and then git add, git commit -m print something. Obviously, this is just example code, doesn't work. It's just an example to show you what will happen. Now, anyway, let's go back to the git-cat-file command. So we have this one. So, but we cannot get a blob from it because you can. That's what's called peeling. You can peel a commit to a tree because one commit is linked to one tree. That's what you see up here. So if I would copy this and do tree with this, then I get the exact same thing as before. Well, not exact same thing because I've changed data, but you know what I'm talking about. So you can do this with a tree, but you can, because a tree can have multiple objects, multiple files in there. You cannot print that just by running this command. Then you have to peel this into a blob, or you have to specify which blob you want. So I can say for hat, can I do hat? Well, maybe commit. Yeah, I can do hat. For hat, I want to have the readme, and obviously now I need to specify the blob. So this is the content of readme, which is exactly the same as this, obviously. But you can do the same for the hello world file, like that. You get the contents of that file name. Okay, this is the basic thing of git-cat-file. Now there's another thing about git-cat-file. You can use it in batch mode. With batch mode, you can say instead of running one git-cat-file command for one file, you can say echo hat colon readme, and then pipe it into git cat file batch. Yeah, I think like this. So then you get then git-cat-file will return the content for each of the files it reads from standard in. So you could also do it otherwise. How is it again? So you can do cat and then say no, not that. How does this work again? There was a way you can do this, if I'm not mistaken. So hat colon readme, hat colon hello backslash and world. I'm not sure. Yeah, you see this works perfectly. So that's how server-side Git server processes might be getting a bunch of files from the Git object database. Now there's also another thing. Well, maybe, okay. Now we can say hat colon something that doesn't exist. And then we get the error, something is missing. But we have the same thing with hello. Imagine I misspelled hello and I've written world. Then I get this. Now this is fine. This is fine because I'm surprised, by the way, that I'm getting this. Well, I guess it's by design. So it doesn't. Huh. I'm surprised this works because I would expect it not to print the new line thing, but to not find a file with backslash n. But whatever. Okay, so this is one thing. Now there's another operation mode which is called git-cat-file batch-z. So now each blob you're trying to fetch from the object database is not divided by a new line, but it's divided by a zero terminator. So instead of head readme, when I enter, nothing happens, but I need now quickly, I think x8. How can I easily insert a zero terminator? I've looked this up before, but I forgot. Null? Is there like a null? Oh, there's a null. Okay. Huh, interesting. Yeah, I was afraid this would not happen. This would not work. Okay, let's try it different because this is annoying. So instead of doing it like that, I can say like echo head readme. Now, you see this is not working. This might surprise you, but it's actually by design. So what I'm doing is I'm sending readme to git-cat-file, but I'm not zero terminating this. So what echo does is it by default appends a new line. So it appends this new line, and because the git, and then we close the pipe. So then we stop sending to standard out. So git-cat-file says, okay, well this input stream is ended. Let's get all the contents we got and trying to find the blob for that file name, or for this revision. But that contains a new line. So we can make this work with -n, and then this works, because then there's no new line appended. You see? So that's that. Sorry, I was trying, but for our hello -n world, we can do the same. Hello world missing. Alas. Am I missing something here? I'm not sure. But we already see what the issue is, but I should be able to... I should be able to fetch this file like this. Why was this working? Like, when I was doing it like this, it worked, right? No, it didn't. Huh? Interesting. All right. Echo. Hello missing, world missing. Yes. Well, this also explains part of the issue. So when you're trying to get the contents of a file name that has a new line in it, it won't work, because it thinks this is a revision, because it's separated with new line characters. And wait, I'm gonna quickly send out a notification that I'm live. I doubt anyone will look at it, but whatever. Copy link. I'm live. All right. Where's my stream? I doubt. All right. Sorry. I'm returning where I was. So, yeah, some people might have missed this, but sorry, you have to rewind if you want to understand the problem. So back to this. So we cannot get the contents of a file name with a new line in it, because it thinks a git-cat file will reach each line, and then it will just think hello and world are separate items we're trying to get from the object database. Right, that's the right explanation. Great. So for that, we could use -z, but I'm not able to get that working at the moment for some reason. hello world. So what's up with this? I'm not sure. Had hello world. Yeah, this works perfectly. Why was it working when I did it with... I think my new line thingy is not working correctly. That's what the issue is, right? So it's not a real new line. It's an \n new line. So if I do this and then say qj, no, that's not working. So that's what I was trying to say. Like, it's quite hard to create a file name with a new line in it. And how I did it one way, but I cannot recall how. Let me try again. Can I say and world? Does Emacs do it correctly? Yes. Git no ls l. This was the syntax. I think this was the syntax. So git add git commit dash m name it with a real new line. All right. Yeah, great. So ls. So we have a file name with a real new line. So when I'm going back to cat this mode, I can say had readme. Oh, had readme. Then I'm getting the readme. I can say had hello. And now I would like to say a new line world, but I cannot because it will stop reading after the new line, and it does not understand that hello world, hello new line world is one file name. So for that we would be able to use where is again the -z option. So let me demonstrate again. This is not working because it says hello is missing and world is missing. But if we do -z, we're able to see the contents of the file. Awesome. So this is basically explaining the problem that might happen, although it's not really a problem. It's more like how it works. But there's the problem we're trying to fix is more like an edge case. So at this point, we can get the file from the object database and we get the result we expect. It's the blob ID, it's what type it is, it's the length of the blob, and it's all the data. So with this, it's decimal, if I'm not mistaken. With this number, we can see how many bytes we have to read, and then we know what the contents of the file are and until the end of that block. Now, if you would make a mistake and you would misspell or try to get the wrong file name from the object database, then you get this error. You see had hello new line world is missing. And this is kind of an issue because if you're trying to get multiple files from the object database, then it gets hard to parse this content. For example, if I would say :l \null, so I want to fetch another object from the object database, and I would say had readme. This is the result I'm getting. Normally you would say, okay, when you have program code reading from the cat file process, you would say, okay, let's read one line. What is in here? And then you see this. Well, normally you would see this. You would see a blob ID, the type, and a number of bytes. Then you read those bytes, and then after that you can read the next and the next and the next. So you can keep reading that way. But this way you cannot read one line because there's an error message that's split over two lines because the file name contains a new line. So normally without a new line, you would see something like this. And this is easy to parse. It's just one line and you see, okay, missing at the end of the line, we know we have to stop reading. We didn't find the file. We can report an error, and the rest of the contents returned by git-cat-file can be read normally without knowing anything else about what we read before. But here we have an issue. The error is split over multiple lines, and it can get really weird because you could even say, this is really, really awkward, like AABBCC and then blob 100 new line fake print f I am fake. And this kind of looks like this line. Yeah, for the purpose of testing, I did not add the whole hash, but like the format is identical, while it's actually an error. So this is the issue that's happening. So we try to circumvent this by that's a bug I'm trying to fix. Now I have checked out my patch I wrote before, and I'm not sure if I'm able to build. So what I can do is, I hope this works. So if I'm going to call on tilde devil git bin wrappers, no, it's not like that, git. This is the fix I proposed, or like this is the fix I wrote and I tried to make. So instead of just printing this, we print the quoted format of that string. So we start a quote here and a quote there, and we \escape characters that are doing weird stuff with the output. So now we can read one line again, and we know, okay, this file is missing, and if there's another file in here, we can read it like normally. You see, there's no weird things going on here. That's the fix I was doing. It works, although there were some comments about the code, how I wrote the code, but that's basically the idea. Wow. So I took about 20 minutes to explain the issue, which might be interesting for some, not interesting for others. Sorry about if you're not as interested. Anyhow, let's see what we did and let's try to make it better. Okay. So this is my commit. Sorry. So we include the quote.h, and when we see -z is given, we quote the file name, and this function knows when to quote and when to not. So if I would say without a new line, then it's not quoted because it's not needed. So only like in a very small edge case, files are being quoted, which is nice, which maintains backward compatibility for most of it. Now, as you can see, I've been doing it over here with the C-style quote, and over here with the quote C-style, sorry. And that's a little bit weird because it's in two places, and I have the feeling that one error case is not called because the other error case is catching it already. So I have to dig in the code a little bit again. So cat file again, right? And then let's go to quote C style. Quote C style. So this is the code I've added, and This is the code I have added. And if I'm not mistaken, so the batch object write calls batch object 1 or other way around. Okay, so batch object write gets called by batch object 1. So I'd like to know why this error handling is done twice. At least so it seems. And it might be because there's another code path calling into this function without calling the batch 1 object. So let me find this function through the code base. So we have 3 places where this file is called, where this function is called. So we have here a definition. We have that's in the batch 1 object. This is in the batch object callback and in the batch unordered object. I have been looking into this one in the past, although I forgot what it was doing again. Batch unordered object. Yeah, I've been looking into this for what is packed, what is loose, but I forgot why it existed. Ah yeah, OPT unordered. So what does unordered do? Unordered. Do not order object before emitting them. What does it even mean? Man. Let's go back to the man page. Dash 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 unordered. When batch all objects is in use, visit objects in an order which may be more efficient for accessing the object contents than hash order. The exact details of the order are unspecified. But if you do not require a specific order, this should generally result in faster output, especially with batch. Okay, so what is the batch all object option doing? And this might be interesting because instead of reading a list of objects from standard in, perform the requesting batch operation on all objects in the repository and any alternate object store, not just reachable objects. Requires batch or batch check be specified. All right, let's try what it does. So we have, well, doesn't matter, batch all objects. So what do we have? So these are like literally all objects. Even not pointing at head, just all objects. Interesting. But because we can read from alternates as well, I think it means that there might be missing objects. Although I'm not sure at the moment how I can test this easily. Oh, this is annoying. Oh, setting up alternates is annoying. I'm only curious, like, if I would say unordered, do I get something else? So what did I get before? Name it's written. We'll print something. Is it to read me as a file? Print something. Read me. I think this is the same, but well, probably it's not. Not guaranteed to be the same, which is fine. Like, I don't care too much about it. But so we have these two, well, 3 functions. We have batch unordered object, batch unordered loose, and batch unordered packed. Interesting. Patch objects. Oh, sorry. They call, yeah, they call the other one. Okay, and what was the CB call again? Well, let's go back to the dead crap. Where this is the CB. I've been looking into this as well, although I don't recall what it was again. This is also called by all objects, so it seems. But why is it something else compared to the... Ah, okay. So the option unordered specify these and these. And that's the thing. This is interesting. Okay, this is easy to do. So we can say git gc. And now if we look in, do I have 3 installed? 3 git, we see in the object database, we have a pack file. Now I could say git commit dash allow empty because I'm too lazy to make any changes. Dash m no changes. And if we do a tree on the git repository again, we have a loose object. So now if we do this one, we have initial commit at the bottom, but I think we have reverse print something. No changes right in the middle here. If I'm not mistaken, like the hash, the objects are ordered by hash. So this, as you can see, like the hash numbers go up alphabetically, I suppose. But if we do now dash unordered, then wait, why is this data so mangled? We have the no changes commit go first. So 44 and then OA 13. So that's the unordered thing. Well, this is pretty smart. Interesting. So these are the 3 calls that also call object write and do the processing of things. So one of the comments I got from the review was, make sure you have a test for both scenarios. So, quote, geez, C style. This is the object write function used by the dash batch all objects, or what was it called again? Batch all objects. Yes, and the other one is when you do it batch but not with all objects. Interesting. So what I want to do is deduplicate the error handling code, because we're basically doing the same thing twice. And the funny thing, by the way, is that this function basically does the error checking once again for this. Well, I'm not sure if it always does that. Like data skip object skip. Wait. Data. Do we do anything with this data? No, we don't. Skip object info. This is interesting. So we only batch write. That's a good point. Like, should we? So this is missing. Use mail map. Okay, so this is doing stuff pre-processing, so it's not writing the object yet. Skip object info. This flag will be true if the requested batch format and options do not require us to call OID object info. And I suppose, or I would assume, that this function sets it, but it doesn't. So data, well, it used the OID, but it does not set the object info. So I have to check whether this function, when this is called, batch mode, parse command contents. All right, that's no batch one object. Who else calls this? Batch modes, batch objects command. I cannot see where we would set this. Skip object info. Huh. If mem compare. Wow. That's a really weird way to check if something is empty. That's such a C code way to write something like this. So you create an empty object, and then you mem compare it if it's actually if it is exactly the same. Wow. So if the data info is empty, you skip the object info. Interesting. So unless the object info should be skipped, all right, so that's fine. I'm not sure, like, I still don't get when the data info batch mode type. So these are the only places where this is used. So if the object mode is batch mode contents, and if the info is memcompare. Memcompare shows 0 when the data is the same. So when it's the same, it's 0, but if the result is negated in the if. So when it's not empty, we say skip the object info. That doesn't feel right though. Well, it defaults to 1, I suppose. I don't know this syntax, but it defaults to 1. If we don't want to skip the object info, what's it called again? The other option, batch check. Yeah, that's the same. Like you still print the object ID, the type, and the length. These flags will be true if the requested batch format and options do not require us to call object info. Yeah. Weird. Let's go back to the quote C style. Because I'd like to know Um, well, that's something I could do, obviously. So what I could do, so if I would say if false like this, and then I'll make it again. Yeah, I was afraid this would happen because false is undeclared. Obviously, this is plain C. So if I'm now doing the old command again, this one, well, I don't know what which error is presented right now, obviously. So if I say quote C style, I can insert my name here and then go back, compile it again. And then this, then I see, okay, this error messages. So the code is not skipped. It actually tests twice whether the object can be found. Whether the object can be found or not, which is nice, Okay. Well, this makes it more clear that this check whether the object exists twice is completely wasted, basically. So I'd like to extract this if part into a function or call it from here. But like this function is quite long already. Although I don't think the Git folks really care about it. So like I don't think they really care about function length. Like this is weird. We do the same thing at two places for one reason, but yeah. I would say this function, this piece, or when we call this part of the function, we should skip this block. But maybe we don't, because there's happening more on the use mail map stuff. This is annoying. Okay, then I think I have to revert to my previous solution, which was to extract this if into a function and call it from here and from here, basically. Okay, that's an interesting idea. I have to think a little bit more about it. One sec, I'm getting thirsty. All right. How are we gonna tackle this? Because this is an error handling case. Basically, what we're trying to do is only format an error message. So we know the result is not found, or when the result is not null. Oh. So what is the value of this? Get grab define found. I suppose it's 0. Oh. Is it an enum? I suppose it's 0. But I don't. Ah, cache.h found is 0. Missing object, short name ambiguous. Well, if cache is defining the enum values for the type of errors, I would say it's also cache responsibility to format an error, although yeah, it's a little bit doubtful because cat file is showing this message in a way that other places in the git C code might not be doing this. Anyhow, like, well, where else is this used? Let me look this up. Wait, where are you? Huh. Missing object. So in the tree walk. Missing status is missing object. Yeah. The thing I'm trying to say is that when we create a function that formats an cache.h enum value to an error message, we have to make sure that we handle every case when a new value is added. So it's better to keep that code close together, so it's easier to realize you have to add an error case for that. Luckily, we have like a default failure case. Okay, I'm gonna just write it down like I might be doing it, and then we'll see where we end up. So this thing, and then we have this thing, and then we say batch print error, and then what are we gonna pass onto it? I don't know for sure yet. So static void batch print error. Yes. So we need a result. Int result. We need the OPT, which is struct batch options OPT. What else do we need? So we have OPT quote object name. Let's put it first. Const char object name. What else do we have? We have object name, quoted, null, quoted, object name, result. Missing object name, result, quoted, standard prof. Okay, so I think this is it. So now we say batch print error object name result, comma opt. obviously we need a semicolon because we're typing C. And now, where else is the quote C style being called? Over here, although now I have to double check whether. So we have reds here. Oh, what happened? What's happening? So this is that. We have we have opt null terminated n object name. I'm not sure again why I was added cg blame. Well, I added it for a reason. So I guess I better copy it here as well. How is the notation like this? I suppose that's correct. Quote name, quoted null, null, quoted buff, yes. Then we print the error and we return. Now I'm not sure whether return should have a new line in front or not. Oh, sorry, where am I? So I'm not sure whether this should have it. No, it seems not. So this should do the same. So if I would make it error implicit declaration of batch print error voids. Huh? Am I specifying it twice? Cat file C implicit declaration of a function. Ah, yeah. How do I select the function again? Is it like this? Probably because batch one object comes before. So what's before the batch one object? Batch objects, right? Print error like this. Print default format. Okay, this is interesting because we have another print function close to this, which is kind of convenient or kind of logical. Batch print error. I'm not sure if I want to have batch in the name because if I would cat file had plot like this, huh? Blob fail. Pod plot does not exist in head. Well, this is interesting because does not exist. Where does that error come from? Does not exist. Work tree. Work tree. I'm not using work trees. Fail. Fatal. Fault. Oh, these are test cases. I was afraid something would be. Okay, anyhow, this remoted C. Oh. Test cases, yeah, test cases. Well, it does not exist in. Maybe we should change the string. Apply does not exist. And we have a single quote, so we can do that as well. So now we have object name. This is a die. Yeah, so this is a complete different error, I think. Is missing file error. Okay, I'm not gonna be bothered with this, but what I was trying to figure out was that print batch print that batch in this name makes sense. So batch print error is called by the batch object right and by batch one object. Excellent. Let's where's my I forgot my fingers. This. Then we go down again. Oh. So this code still works. How do you do that again? Like cdt. Where's my commits? It's the 1006 cat file. So I think it was like this to run this test. All right, all tests passed. I don't hate it, I must say. I don't hate it at all. Like it's a clean function. You can understand what it does. It reduces the length of the other two functions, and yeah, that's about it. I'm only curious because we check for found here and we check for smaller than 1 here. Like, I would like to know this function returns a return, like returns a value, or are we guaranteed that value presents the enum from cache.h? That's an interesting one, because otherwise we're doing something completely wrong. Yeah, then we have to look up the dist function. Huh? Why are you not doing my LSP? Come on, LSP this thing. Like, I suppose I have to verify this. Why aren't you not opening my file? Ah, wow, that was slow. Yeah, it is always like that. You say, oh, let me quickly look up this function, and then let me quickly look up this function. And so, like this, you can see it returns -1. It returns... So it's not correct what I did. It will work, but it's not correct. Oh, sorry. This is annoying. So what are my options now? So the original question from the original feedback I've gotten was, can you provide test coverage for this code path. I was trying to get around that by calling a function and having test coverage on that function, but that's not really possible. So another thing I can do is, well, just write the test that they were asking for. That's one option. The other option, oh, I'm sorry. In practice, this will always work. In theory, this can go wrong. Like OID object info extended, the function like three lines higher, is not guaranteed to always return on cache.h. What's the called enum again? A get OID result. Enum value. So, okay, now I'm curious. Well, let's just check where we are. This function is called on the get OID with context function. The result of a get OID with context function. And as you can see over here, it returns the get OID result. Awesome. Awesome. Would it be possible to have the other functions called from, so would it be possible to have these return the same enum? Like, we can try. We might end up like in the end of hell, but who knows? So we need this, and then we go. So we do this. That's the result. Then we say result is this. Wow, this was weird completion. I never seen it before. What else do we do with result? Nothing. Okay. What we then also would do, which makes a lot of sense now. I can work around. It's like I have another solution, but hold the phone. So I want this. So we know it's a result. We know it's a get OID result. Okay. Now the functions we call. Now this can like. Where was it again? So this also should return the get OID result, and then return is also of this type, and then the do OID block object extended is also of this type. And where's the result? Missing cache.h is missing object. Return, what else are we returning is found. Like this might explode in my face completely. Missing Or it might turn out very well. I don't know yet. Found and found at the end. That's one of the two cases. Now the other one was this. I'm not sure where that one is defined. Oh wait, I have to change the prototype of this as well. Set this to 0 to prevent OID. Okay, no, that's not the case. .h object store. What was it to do? These macros. These macros and functions are deprecated. If checking existence for an object that is likely to be missing or absence is relatively inconsequential or is consequential, but the caller is prepared to handle it. Use has objects with has better defaults, no lazy fetch on partial clone, and no rechecking of packed storage. In the unlikely event that a caller needs to assert existence of an object that it fully expects to exist and wants to trigger a lazy fetch in a partial clone, use OID object info extended with a null. Okay. So this one, enabling objects to do call stack has recursive behavior. So we need the enum here as well. Huh, interesting. All right, where is the object name? Shift Alt A, I think. All right, packed object info. Well, I had a dead crap open on that packed object info as well. So it's over here, and then we also need this XRD Q tab, enter. That's that. Over here, I hope that's not a very long function. Let me and Q tab. Then what's the return type? Okay, well, this ends that adventure. Because we return an object type. Bad non-commit tree. What? Ah, bad is -1. Okay, these are positive numbers. Sorry. Yeah, those are different return types. Really annoying. Really annoying. So I'm gonna put this idea away and, well, make it a bit simpler. So you have a batch print object, print error. So this line we gonna, can I not revert this? Oh right, sorry. we can do this again, and then we can undo this as well. But we don't do this, but we say missing object. And that's it. We get total feature parity as we did before. So see, we can make it. We should be able to make it. I don't think there are any errors. Yeah, I touched a bunch of files, so the timestamps are changed, especially for header files. That's usually annoying because that forces a lot of recompilation of C files, which in this case takes quite some time. All right, compilation is done. Let me check. I'm sorry. If this still works. Yes, this still works. All right. All right. So I like this. Like, it's simple. The change is not too drastic. I only wonder if I anyway should provide test coverage. But it's annoying because for the batch all code, it's quite hard to set up an well, I can look in the in other examples, but it's quite complicated to set up a test that has alternates, especially with missing objects, I suppose. Sorry, I'm quickly checking my agenda. At what time? I have an appointment, so yeah, I have to check when I can go out for some exercise. If I go 11, 12, well, maybe. Yeah, I don't want to cut out the stream already, but I'm afraid I might have to. Okay, let's quickly dive into tests T. So, what can we do to set up alternates? Well, let me go back to the man page because or a partial clone. Can we maybe check partial clones? Maybe that's a better idea. Git clone partial. Yeah. So filter blob none. Well, this is interesting. This is actually very interesting. So let me go here. Can I Well, this is not exactly what I wanted, but whatever. cd git clone filter blob none temp what is it, temp pod temp jy dot git. Huh? Filter is ignored for local files. Interesting. rmf temp file colon slash slash slash. I think like this. Darn. Okay, then I have to do something else. I'll rm.rf git dash dash filter blob colon none https colon gitlab.com slash, which is a fairly small project, gitlab development kit.git. Okay, that's acceptable. So now I'm really curious. Now with if I'm doing git cat-file dash dash batch all objects grep missing. This repository uses promiser remote. Some objects may not be loaded. Okay, let's do batch check because well, it knows all the objects, but it doesn't know the contents. Interesting, by the way, how they are ordered. This is fun. Darn. So partial clone is not working? Well, why don't I have... Why aren't there any missing objects? Git clone. Can I say bear? Yeah, I can say bear. That might help already. Like, I suppose, wait, what? That's not a bear repository. So if I'm now doing batch objects again, batch. Yeah, how am I able to see this? Yeah. Some objects may not I'm sorry, may not be loaded. What did the clone do? CD. Remove rf this git clone bear. Like cd this git. Well, I could say git-cat-file hat colon readme dot md. Oh, this is a blob. Yeah, the promiser mode is lazy loading that file because now it will be a lot faster. See, if I do it, see with like license dot md. See, it takes a while before it get loaded, but that's weird, by the way. So if I would say config promiser, can I now say what other file or is there in the GDK? Well, git-cat-file blob we have had. I think it's for example Ruby version maybe. Ah, funny though that it outputs the data. Package.json. Ah, gem file. Bad file. Interesting. Echo had gem file git cat file batch. Gem file missing. It's not missing, but it's missing. So now, if I do the batch again, batch check. Well, is it the same thing? It's the same thing. Batch all objects. Why am I not getting an error? Grab dash v3 dash commit. Tag. Okay, well. Yeah, it got missing. Promiser alter. What's happening here? Make new rope repros so we full set of options. So we know the full set of options. We will make sure that there are some packed and some loose objects, some references and some not, some duplicates, and they are some are only available via alternates. So we get in it all one cd, we create a file, we pack it and stuff like that. Then we clone it so there's some stuff happening. Get parse. unordered works, setup object list. The only usable visible difference is objects are no longer sorted. Interesting. So these are set up for test. Yeah, but there's no missing test, I suppose. Batch check. Batch check. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, so with parameter stuff, okay, I need to know how git-cat-file determines which objects are included by all. So we have the batch object right, and we have the batch collect luge no batch object right. Unordered object, unordered back. Yes. So imagine for each loose object. Well, okay, maybe I'm trying to overcomplicate things. I could just remove the object, right? Like new line LF. Well, batch all objects. Shows all objects. Unordered works. Yeah, that's with formatting. Batman. I like this. 3. Ref parse. So we write content to file, we add file, we commit. I'm not sure what -q means. What does -q mean? Git commit -q quiet. Okay. Ref parse hats. So is there like something that grab rm something like this? ref bars object pod blob 2. And what is an object pod? Ah, well, this is interesting. Is it used elsewhere? Git file object pod. Object pod. Git back bitmap. Oh, that's the same file. That grab rm space and the directory t. Object to file. Yeah, this is a good one. Like, this is exactly what I want. Oh, I don't have to create a file even. Having a commit would be fine. Head content t. I'm not sure why content t. Okay, this is interesting. Do we have something else? Object. Yeah. Like, this is a homegrown solution. Which is fine by me. So let me go to the cat file test again. Unordered. Set up object lists test. Set up object list for batch object, all object tests. I'm sorry. Okay. Test. Expect success. Get file. Batch all objects with missing. And then we say git git dash c. How do we set up a repo? I don't want to corrupt it actually. Well, I might have to, but I don't want to. Well, let's just go for it. All two. Oh, what happened? All two. Wait. All two. Commits dash q man page. No man commit. Allow empty. Missing allow empty. Well, maybe I just have to do it like this. N. Oh, N. This is N. Where's my N? Ah. Qtab git. Well, this is. Okay, no, that's not what I need. Because I can just write a blob. Git Shaw, no. Where I've seen that before, like where they just create an object in an object database, and I kind of forgot what the command was to do that. Just write something into the object database. I saw that. I batch all ref parse. No, I don't need no ref parse. I don't need no git. This is it. Okay. Standard in, yes. And that returns the SHA-1. So what we can do, cd all. Why am I cding into all two? Like I don't need to. I can say -c all two. And I can say, this is not a good example, I think, because, well, maybe it is. Can I, that grab. Object file. Yeah, it's also a function. Remove test OID to pods. Test OID to pods. Well, this is interesting. Because this seems to be like a utility function, that grab. Test lib. No, it's not. Test lib functions, test OID to pod. I'm really being clumsy right now. At least that's how I feel. Anyhow. SHA-1. Let's just do it like that. Then say ampersand qtab rm. Well, there's a lose object. Wasn't there a lose object? That was the whole deal of this stuff, to have a lose object. Yeah, it's hard to determine which object that actually is. Okay. Why are we making it so hard? Why Why not just remove the whole object directory? Like l.git objects, l objects. We have info and we have pack. And here I'll get objects. We have, yeah, I want to delete all except for the pack. And git ref parse and repack add and I go node clone. So we have this, and then we say SHA-1, and now now we say git c all objects cat file all objects batch actual batch. Okay, let's just try this. cdt wow. So if you make a typo, it just succeeds. That's very convenient. Not okay. Where was it? Where could you see the errors again? I think there's a log directory, if I'm not mistaken. Test results. Counts. Yeah, these are counts. Or was it like -v? Yeah, -v. There was a way also to cannot remove, no should follow directory. That makes sense. Because it doesn't exist. We have to do two. Expected actually differ. Here, one line one. Yeah. Well, yes. But can I see the actual and the differ again? Ah, I forgot. There was documentation on testing. I'm really sure about that. Testing. Documentation. How to testing branches, user manual, technical trace 2, bisect, submitting patches. Just the readme. Timer, make -v for both. Turn on shell tracing immediate. Run test selector -- run. I just run is, which one is it again? Dash I, which one failed? It's 136, 236. Nah, that doesn't work. Run valgrind propose log T. Cannot change all. Cannot change to all two. Why not? So there's something else happening. Well, it's no longer this this file that it's erroring about. There's more happening. Cannot change to all two. Who's changing to all two? Who wants to change to all two? Like, I cannot see what else the other tests are doing differently. And git-c qtab echo. Well, do a tree of all two. Cannot change to all two. No switch file or directory. Ah, this is annoying. Cannot. Well, maybe this is the error. Ah, that's probably it. Yeah. But what is the error now? Actual. Can I like trash directory t-cat file? And now we should be see actual and expect Batman. So in the actual, what are we getting? Not clones. C omitter and EU Tor. I like those names. Because it's not referenced, it does not know about it? Darn. Okay, this test is not working. I need to find a way, and I'll pick this up later again. Like, I'm gonna wrap up here now. I'm live for almost 2 hours now. I'm not sure what I will be doing after this, but I will wrap this up. I'm hoping to get away without test, or I will ask for help. So I will say I will talk about what I was trying to do and why it did not succeed, and yeah, I probably well ideally because I'm changing basically two code paths. Ideally, I would have a commit that adds test coverage for both code paths, and then make changes and make sure those tests remain working. But because I cannot write a test for both code paths, it's hard to do that. So I'm gonna try to wing it a little bit or ask for help, and who knows how it will turn out. I don't know. So the test changes, I'm gonna revert, and this I'm only wondering whether it would make sense to extract the to make a separate commit for extracting the function. It probably does, because it makes it more obvious what the actual change is and why it was happening. So I will have to do that. So git log. I have my commit on top, so I say git reset at tilde. Then we add a message. Okay. So that's the tricky part. This is the tricky part. Well, I think we can get away with partial. How do you say that again? Partial staging. So I can add this, stage it, and then this, stage it, and then this, stage it. And then I can stage this. Interesting. Interesting. Haha. You see? I almost made a mistake here. Oh, right, I didn't. It's just flushing standard out. So I have to keep doing this. That's so this can be gone. I can stage all of this and this. So what we're adding here is batch print error message. Unstage. Oh, I love doing this. Like doing this in any other client or any other, even on a command line, it's so annoying, but oh, thank God, Magit or Magit for being so awesome. So I have a batch print error, and I have stuff like this: print. All right, that's this chunk. Then we call this function, and the flush for standard out is included in the batch print error message, which is awesome. And then same for this. So yeah. What was my previous commit message again? Cat file commit cat file extracts formatting printing error message into function. Extracts batch error message into function. I'm not sure if like commit message. Each commit message. 72? Is it 72? Commit message is intensely formatted in 72 columns per line. Title? How long are these? Like, I suppose this is also longer. 63. Okay, so the 50 is not a limit that Git is using. Extract batch, extract error message, extract printing batch error message into function. At the moment, no. There are 2 call sites that are formatting an error message if an object could not be found. We're about to make changes to that, and to avoid doing that twice, we extract this into a separate function. Now, if I'm not mistaken, like there's a git commit sign off. No, sign. I was pretty sure there was a way like, hey, Magit, insert this now, but commit sign CS. See, sometimes I know how to computer. Right. There are 2 call sites that were formatting an errors. 2 call sites that were formatting an error message in batch mode. If an object could not be found. We're about to make changes to that, and to avoid doing that twice, we extract this into a separate function. Right, now this, I wanna swap these around because like I want to flush the content out first before I release this. So I want to quote this, quote, and do this. Now, I think there was a way to copy the commit message of a commit. So if I would do this and then commit. What was it again? Reuse commit methods. Dash C, this one, and then commit, and then it's done. Now I commit rewrite. I want to verify rather. Quote format name in error message. Okay. Yeah. Commit CK. Yeah. Rewrite, revert, lower, like this. Excellent. Change. Quote format name in error when using -z. Since it's important to have null delimited input introduced in yada 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 yada, it's possible to pass paths that contain new lines. This works great when the object is found, but when it's not, the input path is returned in the error message. Because this can contain new lines, the error message might get spread over multiple lines, making it harder to machine parse the error message. With this change, the input is quote formatted in the error message, if needed. This ensures the error message is always on a single line and makes parsing the error more straightforward. Oh, this is a great commit message if I say so myself. This is excellent. I'm gonna push this code and then I'm gonna do some things to submit it to the mailing lists. Can I push it? So if I'm going to gitlab.com, gitlab org git like this. Wow. Oh yeah. Recently I switched to disabling JavaScript by default. GitLab.net. What is using GitLab.net JavaScript? This is weird. Anyhow, clone, copy. I should have a merge request somewhere. This one, and what's the branch name? The branch name is git-cat-file batch missing. So git remote at GitLab. This is the remote. Then I'm gonna copy the branch name. Git branch. Is it move? Rename? Help. Like this, and then git push GitLab dash force e. Let's do it like this. Push the push remote GitLab, and then it will say yes, push -f, push. And that should work now. So now, right. I'm ready to submit this yet another time, but I'm gonna wrap up my stream for today here. I had a total of 6 minutes and 25 seconds of people watching, which is like nothing. I don't care. I had a good time. It makes me better doing this stuff over time. So I will be back. Where is my mouse? Bye bye.